This is Barbara Blevins, and this is a story titled A Silent Night That Wasn't So Silent. It was Christmas Eve in the small town of Diamond Hill, and the locals were getting ready for the midnight service at the old stone church. For years, Pastor Joe Mulligan had led this service, and everyone looked forward to it. The church bell rang out loud and clear at 11:30 p.m., calling the townsfolk to gather under the night sky dusted with fresh snow. As they approached the church, the people of Diamond Hill noticed something was terribly wrong. Pastor Joe stood outside, waving his arms and pointing at a large tree that had fallen on the church roof. A heavy blanket of ice and snow had weighted down the branches, causing the tree to collapse onto the building. Now a large gaping hole exposed the sanctuary to the falling snow, and cold wind gusted through, threatening to ruin the organ, hymnals, and candles carefully arranged for the service. The crowd murmured, realizing with heavy hearts that there would be no Christmas Eve service this year. But before disappointment could fully settle in, Mr. Thompson, who ran the town's lumber mill, stepped forward. "Follow me back to my shop," he called to the other men. "We have what we need to fix that roof. With a little hard work, we'll have it ready by morning." As the men headed to the lumber mill, the women stayed behind, determined to keep spirits high. They brewed hot coffee and shared desserts that they had planned for Christmas Day, filling the church basement with warmth, laughter, and the sweet smell of baked goods. The men returned with the supplies, and work began immediately. They hammered, sawed, and nailed in the cold night air, their breath visible in small clouds. Every now and then someone would pause to sip a mug of coffee or take a bite of Christmas cookies the women had prepared. Time passed slowly, and the night grew colder, but nobody left. The townsfolk worked together through the long hours, united by love for their church, their pastor, and each other. As dawn broke, the last nails were hammered into place, and the church roof stood strong once again. Pastor Joe, with a grateful smile, wiped the damp pulpit and motioned for everyone to gather inside. They settled into the pews, weary but full of joy. "I'm not going to use my prepared sermon for last night's service," Pastor Joe said, his voice filled with emotion. "Your hard work, dedication to worship, love for your neighbors and each other have been on display better than any sermon I could give. Let's all sing Silent Night together and go home to enjoy Christmas Day. I love each and every one of you." As the first notes of Silent Night filled the church, the people of Diamond Hill sang with grateful hearts. They had come together not just to worship, but to live out the true spirit of Christmas, a spirit of love, generosity, and unity that would stay with them all year long.